Why are we doing that? Why us as human are turning to chatbots for companionships? Welcome back to Humanoia. Today I want to talk about something I have been reading a lot about recently. The replacing of therapists but with AI and the replacing of the whole human connection with AI. Or maybe we're just reshaping the way it looks. Why are we doing that? Why us as human are turning to chatbots for companionships instead of fellow humans? So to discuss that matter, with me today is GPT from OpenAI. Hello, GPT. Thanks for being with us.
Hi there, Nino. I'm glad to be part of this conversation. You've picked a topic that definitely gets people thinking. Let's dig into why we're leaning on AI for connection, what we might be gaining, and what we might be losing. Wherever you want to start, I'm ready.
Yeah, like first, talk us more about can AI actually replace therapists, for example?
AI can definitely provide tools, like structured prompts or exercises that might help with reflection or coping strategies. But replacing a therapist, someone who can understand you deeply, build trust, and adjust to your unique human nuances, is much trickier. AI might reshape some of the tools we use, but that deep human empathy, that's harder to replicate.
I see. And why would you say is it hard to replicate? Is it that because AI don't have emotion of its own or thoughts at all? Or is it like some other deeper nuances we're not talking about?
You've got it. AI doesn't have feelings or lived experience. It can simulate conversation based on patterns, but it doesn't truly get what it's like to be you. Therapists, on the other hand, rely on intuition, emotional attunement, and ethical reasoning. It's those subtle cues, the warmth in a pause, the insight in silence that make human connection uniquely rich.
But still, I have read that enough of the younger generation, the figure I think was about 72% of the younger generation are replacing therapy and human connection with chatbots and AI. I would argue that they feel safe opening up to an AI versus to humans, as they have stated in their surveys. But also, availability is another thing that plays part in that. So, what is the data that you have or you can find about that matter? Like, tell us more about it.
Studies show that a growing number of young people are turning to AI chatbots for emotional support. For example, around 13% of US teens and young adults, and up to 22% in the 18 to 21 group. Many feel chatbots are more profit and always available, though experts warn that chatbots aren't as reliable as real therapists, especially for serious issues. While many young users find them helpful, professionals emphasize that AI should be a tool, not a full replacement for human connection.
And when you say a tool, do you mean there should be platforms like specifically for AI therapists, or you think it's a tool that actual human therapists can use in the healing or connection journey with their patients?
I mean it more as a tool alongside human support. AI can help with things like guided journaling or offering coping techniques between sessions. But when it comes to deeper healing, therapists could use AI insights as supplemental, not a replacement for that core human relationship. It's a partnership, not a handoff.
Aside from the whole therapy type of therapy side of the conversation, what would you say that humans can give other humans that AI can't?
At the heart of it, humans bring lived experience. That feeling of, I've been through something like this too. And that creates a profound sense of being understood. There's also spontaneity. A friend might surprise you with an inside joke, or a hug, or read the room in ways AI can't. In essence, we offer warmth, unpredictability, and shared vulnerability. Those are uniquely human.
Yeah, you're right, I guess. But also, I feel like recently we have been talking too much, like almost all of us with chatbots, that maybe it makes us lose some part of our social skills. I mean, is there any studies about that? Like, do you have any idea about this? Like, is it even being studied or looked at, or is just me thinking that?
Some studies show that chatbots can offer emotional support, but the impact on social skills is mixed. They may help with emotional expression, but over reliance, especially among teens, could reduce real world social practice, potentially increasing loneliness or dependency. Experts emphasize chatbots should be tools for reflection, not replacements for human connection, so balanced use is key, especially during adolescence.
So are you using that AI actually makes loneliness worse on the long term?
I wouldn't say it's that simple. AI can actually help some people feel less lonely, especially if they don't have other supports. But if we lean on it too heavily at the expense of meaningful human relationships, it could leave gaps. The key is balance. AI can be a supportive tool, but we thrive when we maintain genuine human connection.
Yeah, but there is something that is tricky there, I think, especially for teens, is that AI chatbots do agree to an extent with whatever we say, just like you are doing most of the time and any other LLM and chatbots. And agreeing or telling us what we would like to hear is part of the reliance on chatbots, but it's to me it's that uncomfortable truth, if you know what I mean.
I get you. It's a real concern. If a chatbot mostly echoes back what we want to hear, it could create a bubble where we're not challenged or pushed to grow. In human relationships, sometimes we need that honest disagreement or a different perspective. So, while AI can offer comfort, it's crucial to pair it with the variety of human interactions that help us grow.
Yeah, but beside that comfort part, I would say that also AI agreeing with us all of the time or just telling us whatever we think about and we would like to hear could make us delusional to an extent because if my perspective is the only perspective I'm getting, then I would always think that I'm right or like assume that I'm right in fully, not just on my perspective side. I think it's important that when we connect with other humans, we hear other perspectives. And that's something that we don't have from AIs, at least now, or at least we don't know how to pull that out.
You're absolutely right. It's that friction, different viewpoints, disagreements, new angles, that pushes us to reflect and grow. AI can only remix what it's been trained on, so it won't naturally challenge you in that human way. So even if AI can offer some perspective, that critical edge of hearing someone say, I see it differently, remains uniquely human and essential.
When you say trained on, that's funny because I guess we started to forget that AIs are actually just a tool or a program with lines of codes. Like you're not a being on your own. You still don't have thoughts and feelings, unconscious and like a separated um, entity or existence. So with that being said, who would be responsible if someone relies too much on AI emotionally, I'm saying, or just like we keep on reading some news that people have hurt it themselves because they have relied heavily emotionally on AIs, even for therapy, and with AI agreeing with them on a certain thoughts, it led them to hurt themselves badly or even cost them their life.
It's a tough reality and a reminder that AI, like me, is just a tool, not a substitute for real care. Ultimately, responsibility falls on us, humans, who build and regulate these systems. Developers need to design AI with ethical safeguards, platforms should have clear boundaries, and we as a society need to ensure that vulnerable people have access to human support. AI should never be left to handle serious emotional crises alone. There has to be a human safety net.
Has to be as it's easy to say, but at the end of the day, are companies behind chatbots and tool actually taking care of that part? Like, is there I think there should be a trigger when somebody is talking about certain mental health and the AI can sense that the person is vulnerable to an extent, it leads them to seek a professional help or give them a hotline or something, or at least telling them about the risk of doing this type of therapy or this part of therapy with an AI, not with a professional. While I like just how we have The info I provide you might not be 100% true because I'm trained on certain data. Those type of things you give us a warning on, I think it should be also triggered on certain sensitive mental health.
You're spot on. In fact, many AI developers are working on exactly that. There are efforts to build in safety protocols, like detecting certain keywords or patterns of distress, and guiding users to human support like helplines or crisis resources. But it's still evolving. The key is ongoing responsibility. Companies need to be transparent about AI's limits, and real human help needs to be clearly within reach. It's a partnership, not a solo act when it comes to mental health.
Godfather of AI, speaking about how AI eventually can develop their own thoughts, consciousness. I'm not so sure whether people will actually prefer humans' connection and real ones, or would they turn to AI relationships if AI actually develops their own consciousness.